Hey everybody, what's up? If you are around, jump on, join me. I'll be sharing some ways for you to overcome any slumps or struggles you might be having or experiencing in your business. So, sorry, had a phone call. So if you are on, jump on, stick around for a couple minutes and let's get started. So have you ever felt like you're in your business and it just feels like a constant struggle and there's just never enough time, there's never enough, there's always more than enough information, but you get overwhelmed by all the different things that you're hearing out there about what to do to try to grow your business, right? And so you start to experience maybe a little bit of frustration and just overwhelm and exhaustion and a little bit of burnout, right? So I want to share some things for you to help you overcome that without actually hustling more, losing more sleep, getting up earlier, doing all the things that you've probably already been doing, and dramatically shift your results. So it's going to be amazing. So the first thing to do is to think about what is the energy you're putting into this struggle, right? So if you are having thoughts like it's so hard, why is it taking so long, it's so frustrating, what I want you or encourage you to think about is everything that you are seeing is part of what you've created based on your perception, right? So if you are perceiving this is struggle and this is hard and it's taking so long, that's exactly what you will get, because everything is your own creation, right? And so if you start to understand all that the stuff that's going on, it's all an illusion. It's all part of this crazy little sort of dream state that we're living in. And when you start to see that, it takes the pressure off of like, okay, so if I only need to change my perception of how I'm viewing what's happening in my business to change my business, I have the power to do that at any moment. So you can start to shift because you can start to see, okay, really, this is just a game. And I'm actually the one in charge of the game. And so I can change the game anytime. I can change the rules of the game at any time, because why am I following someone else's rules for how to grow my business anyway? This is my business. So because someone tells me all these things to do and I'm doing it, it's still taking me away from myself and disconnecting me from how I want to grow my business. So again, it all comes back to your perception, right? So if you switch your perception and say, okay, so cool, how do I want to change this game? If I'm not loving this game, what rules do I want to change? And how do I want to completely transform this so that it's a game I actually want to play and that I'm excited to play and that I'm winning because it's the game that I'm creating. So why would I create a game that I'm losing at every single day, right? So what you can start to do then, as you start to play around with this idea that you can shift your perception, because what happens with your perception is your perception starts to shape. So it's goes back and forth, right? So your thoughts and beliefs shape your behaviors, which then shape your perception. And then your perception starts to shape your beliefs and behaviors and thoughts and actions and words. So when you start to see like, okay, so I can change this from this is struggle and this is hard to, what can I do differently? And how is this actually working for me? And what do I love about this? And what have I learned about this whole process that I've been on? And now that I know it's all a game, what do I want to do with it? How do I want to play it differently? And how do I want to make sure that I'm always winning in a way that's true to me? So that's the first part. The second part then is really being conscious about how you are taking care of yourself. So really starting to think about elevating yourself through supreme care of your soul, of your body, of especially your beliefs and your thought life. So one story where this became really obvious to me was when I was first a cadet in the Coast Guard and I was in boot camp. In the first couple probably weeks, I'm like, this is all a game. This is all just, we're all playing a game. They're all playing a game, trying to beat me down. And I still had that consciousness to stay disconnected from it so I could still play the game. But what happened over time, of course, I got run down, I got tired, I was exhausted, there's a lot of physical training, not a lot of sleep. And as the care of myself went down, my ability to stay conscious of the game went down. So of course what happened was I broke down, which is part of the game, really. But instead of seeing it as, this is perfect, I'm breaking down, that's part of the game, I was so broken down physically and just exhausted that I couldn't stay connected to that, which actually resulted in me not having that awareness of being able to get back up a little bit more quickly. Does that make sense? So that's why it's so important to have just extreme, highly conscious care of yourself. And so being conscious about what are the things that you're putting into your body, and not only am I talking about food and drink, but also what are the beliefs that you're feeding yourself? What are the media that you're exposing yourself to? Who are the people that you're allowing into your life? And understanding all of those things are either feeding your energy or draining your energy. And if you're in a place where you're struggling in your business, you want to be really conscious of all those things that are stealing your energy, because that is feeding the energy of frustration and struggle. And also when you're not sleeping well, maybe not eating well, obviously your decision-making process is not as highly tuned either. And what happens then is if you're run down, you're starting to feel exhausted, in those states of high stress or high stress, because even if you're run down, it's still a place of high stress. In those places, be conscious of what happens next. So usually in those moments when you're really disconnected from yourself, those moments of high stress are what actually drives you to the behaviors of distraction, which end up disconnecting you from yourself, which ends up furthering your slump or your struggle. So when you can start to bring yourself into consciousness of, I'm really tired, I'm really stressed, things aren't going well, and I want to blank, maybe have a drink or sit down and just watch hours of Netflix or overeat or shop, whatever it is. If you can bring yourself to that place of consciousness before the behavior, then you start to bring in that higher level of consciousness where you can say, how can I support myself in this? Because what do I really need? What do I really crave right now? It's probably not actually distraction. It's probably something completely different. So being able to tune into that and discover what that is. I mean, is it, I really am craving companionship. I'm actually really craving, just to close my eyes for 10 minutes. I'm really craving going out and spending time in the sun. Or actually, I really want to just dance. And being conscious of those moments so that you're engaging in what your body actually wants versus the shadow part of you that wants to just disconnect and not stay present and find the easy way out through alcohol, through social media, through binging on TV, through overeating, through shopping, through whatever it is. And when you're taking good care of yourself, you're less likely, obviously, to take the road of distraction. And so it's also understanding, what does a divine environment for you, for your soul, look like? Is it a certain number of hours of sleep? Is it getting up at a certain time? Certain foods that give you more energy? Perhaps it's eliminating alcohol because you notice it just really takes you away from yourself. So figuring out what those things are, and then understanding when you decide to engage in something, bringing a high level of consciousness to it. So it's not that you're going to eliminate media and Netflix and alcohol, but you're going to do it in a way that actually enhances you and elevates your energy versus just completely takes you away from yourself. All right, so the third step is to then, now that you're in tune and you know what gives you energy, you know what detracts your energy, and you know your triggers, so you are able to start to sort of sideline those triggers so that you don't follow down the road of distraction and disconnection. Next is then to follow the energy. This is super important. So understanding when you have that hit of intuition or that nudge to walk outside and go for a walk in the middle of the day, or go to the coffee shop, or take that dance class, or call that person, that you do it right away, that you understand whatever's stirring up energetically, and that you feel that excitement and like, oh my gosh, that would be so fun to go do that. I've always wanted to go do that, to go do it immediately. Because what you're doing is building trust in yourself, that you know exactly the next right step. And part of this whole process is letting the mind take second fiddle to the heart and soul. So even though it might seem crazy and it might not seem connected to your business to go for a walk in the middle of the day or to go to that dance class, that you are honoring the energy and you're doing it no matter what, because you are getting in tune with that intuition. Your intuition knows exactly the next step for you. For me, an example of this was, there was a workshop about 2 years ago. It wasn't connected at all to my business, but I really wanted to go. I loved a woman running it, and it was around body and using your strengths. And so I went. And not having, of course, it wasn't like I'm going because I want to meet some clients or I want to, grow my business. Was I'm going big for me because I'm really the energy. Like as soon as I saw it, I wanted to go. I knew I was going. I signed up and I went, and I actually ended up getting a client. So throughout the workshop, a woman came up to me afterward and said, hey, do you have a card? I'd love to talk to you more about what you do, even though I really didn't talk much at all about my business in the workshop. And so that's the power of your intuition, is it tells you to go do something, you go do it, and you don't let your head talk you out of it. And because your head will say, well, that's silly. Why are you going to go spend time in this workshop? It has nothing to do with your business, and you need to focus on your business, and you need to be doing blah, 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 blah. So it's telling your head to shut up and trusting that you're going to follow the energy, and the energy will always take you exactly where you need to be for your highest good, even if it doesn't make any sense. And even if it's inconvenient and scary and seems ridiculous, you're building trust, so you are committed to doing it no matter what. And as you do that, then everything starts to change. So you're becoming a clear channel and a clear vessel to receive higher and higher hits of intuition, because you're so much better taking care of your internal environment and your mental environment and your physical environment, that you're receiving much more easily. And the fact that you're acting on it, you're building that trust in yourself, the more easily the things come, because now you're not in that place of like, well, should I do this? And is this me procrastinating? And well, maybe this isn't the right thing to do. You're getting rid of all of that junk, because again, you're changing your whole perception of, this is a game. I feel this pull to go do this thing. I'm going to go do it. I have no attachment to what the outcome is going to be. I just know I'm following my intuition. I'm trusting myself, and I know I always will have my back. So here we go. So those are your steps to help you overcome your slump or your struggle in your business. Is absolutely dramatically shift your perception. Know it's a game, and that you're the one who can play to win, that you can design it how you want, to take divine, supreme care of your internal environment in every way, and then to follow the energy and to trust that it will lead you exactly where you need to be, and that is actually the best way to grow your business beyond everything the experts say, is trusting that you know exactly what to do. All right. Well, thank you all for being here. If you are interested in learning more about what I do, reach out to me. I did also post a link to my Energy Mastery Guide to help you really get more in tune with using your energy and knowing when you master your energy, anything is possible. Everything is possible. All right. Sweet. All right. Can't wait to see you all the next time.